This is crazy. I don't know what to say. I'm overwhelmed. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, subscribing, everything. I love making videos for you guys, so I feel so lucky. And she's so beautiful. But let's get to baking a cake and answering your questions. You guys asked me a bunch of questions in the last video and on Instagram, so I'll be answering those and baking the... Thank you. There was a person asking my cat's name, so I guess this is an opportune time. This guy's name is Lars. He wreaks havoc on our household, but he is very cute. He has a sister from the same litter, but she is his complete opposite. She is the cutest, shyest, cuddliest cat, but she doesn't like to get picked up, so I'll insert some videos of her here. These are my two children, and I adore them. I think I was saying that I'm baking the Harry Potter birthday cake, except changing some bits of it. I guess let's start with the cake batter and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Michelle. I'm 25. I turned 26 in July. I grew up in Southern California and now I live in Northern California, but I went to college in San Diego, which was very beautiful. Now I make YouTube videos for you guys. My hobbies are baking. I love to read. I love to play cozy games and crafts. Yeah, also give me any cozy game suggestions that you have in terms of fun facts. I'm still learning how to swim and ride a bike. Very fun facts for you. I guess let's move on to questions. The first question is, what is your MTBI? I am an INFP, which I think is pretty accurate. I think that means that I'm quite introverted and that I put feelings and emotions above other things like logic and reason. It also means that I'm pretty sentimental. I like nostalgic things, which I think you can see in the videos I make. So I'd say it's pretty accurate. The next question is, what did you study at college? Are you a full-time YouTuber or do you have a job? I got my degree in bioengineering with a specialization in bioinformatics. Before I started doing YouTube, I worked in a cancer research lab. I did a little bit of work as a data scientist at a startup, and I worked full-time as a software engineer, but now I do YouTube full-time and I have been for a while, and I feel so lucky. The next question is, what inspired you to start your channel? Like I was saying, I was working full-time as a software engineer. It was very taxing, I'd say. There was not really room in my life for creativity or hobbies. So I started the channel as a way to kind of be creative and have a creative outlet. And I've always loved cooking and especially baking, so it seemed very fitting. I actually started by posting shorts and TikToks. Maybe you found me through those. And that was really fun because that was all the time I had to dedicate to the channel. I do really miss doing short form content. I just haven't had time to do both while learning how to film and edit long form videos, so hopefully those will be coming soon. Are there other YouTubers you look up to or family/friends who got you into cooking or filmmaking? I grew up watching lots of Asian American YouTubers growing up, like Wong Fu Productions, Ryan Higa, Kev Jumba, AJ Raphael. In terms of cooking, my queen, her name is Laura Vitale. She basically single-handedly taught me how to cook. I basically tried most of her recipes. I think probably the first ever recipe I followed was hers. Other icons, Mang Chi. In terms of YouTubers I'm inspired by and love watching today, I really love the Book Leo. She makes cozy book content. My absolute favorite YouTuber is Stephanie Sue. You're probably not watching this, but girl, I love you so much. I love Dylan is in Trouble, Danny Gonzalez, Inga Lam, Mina Rome, bunch of people. In terms of family, I think actually my dad or my grandma most impacted my want to learn how to cook. This person also asked, I noticed that you always squint one eye when taking a bite of something yummy. Is this a natural quirk of yours, or is this something you play up for the camera for the cute and cozy vibes? I was not aware that I did that. Maybe just a natural thing. I feel like I've always had quite chubby cheeks ever since I've been a kid, so they naturally kind of just lift up when I'm eating, and I think I've always been like awkward to eat on camera, so maybe that's just a coping mechanism that I've created for myself. I will definitely be more aware of that now, and that will haunt me. But yes, thank you for pointing that out. What got you into baking / cooking, and when did you start? I think I started cooking somewhere in elementary school, maybe 5th, 6th grade, so like maybe when I was 9 or 10. And I remember my mom would not let me touch the stove. So basically I started cooking things in the microwave. And I think the first thing I made was like a stir-fried noodle, but I basically just microwaved some noodles with soy sauce and called it a day. What inspired me to start cooking was my siblings. We would watch a lot of YouTube together, and somehow we came across like food videos and we just started following them. So we basically do everything from start to finish. Like we would go to the grocery store to get ingredients. We would write down the recipes on note cards and then bring them down to the kitchen and cook together. And I just had very fond memories of cooking and baking since then. Also, random baking hack, coffee really intensifies the flavor of coffee, no, of chocolate. So I'm going to brew some espresso, and hopefully this turns out as a cool montage cinematic shot. Beautiful. What other games, shows, or movies are you thinking of cooking from next? Suggestions? Bridgerton, Legends of Korra, Studio Ghibli. I love to recreate foods from games, TV shows, movies, but I also really loved the last video I did, the Animal Crossing video, where I kind of overanalyzed the villagers and turn them into foods. So I'd love to do another one of those videos. I'd love to revisit Studio Ghibli or Studio Ghibli. I was actually thinking about doing a Minecraft video. I don't play Minecraft, so not sure what that would look like. Might be interesting. I don't know, let me know what videos you want me to make. It's so cool turning things from media into real foods and kind of being able to reimagine and kind of make up my own recipes and share that with you guys. So yes, lots of more fun videos on the way, and let me know what you want to see. Cake batter. Speaking of Studio Ghibli, I got a question asking, do you watch Studio Ghibli? And if so, what are your faves? My cousin just visited a few weeks ago and we watched Princess Mononoke and The Secret of Arrietty. But I think my all-time favorites probably have to be Howl's Moving Castle. And I have a love-hate relationship with this one, but it's The Grave of the Fireflies. My world history teacher made us watch that movie in class with no warning, and I fully sobbed in front of all my classmates. I'm going to pop these in the oven to bake, and I'll see you in a second. It's actually 2 days later. Hopefully this is not TMI. I got so bloated, I literally could not stand up and finish decorating this cake. So let's answer the rest of your questions. Have some fun? Yeah. How long does it take for you to come up with a new concept before showcasing it online? From start to finish, it usually takes around 2 to 3 weeks to develop the recipes, film script, record, edit. I'm working on hopefully churning out videos faster for you guys, but thank you for being patient so far. Is there anything you've made in these videos that you make again off screen because you like it so much? I think the thing I make the most is probably the seafood soup from the Animal Crossing video. That is so simple and so, I don't know, cozy. I've been making a lot of takoyaki or just foods in the shape of balls. Like I've been making pancake balls. Oh, the chocolate chip cookie that I share. I feel like I've shared it in like 2 or 3 videos already, but that brown butter chocolate chip cookie is my favorite recipe. I make it all the time. What's the most difficult recipe you've ever attempted? What was the process like? How did it turn out? And were you satisfied with it? The first thing that comes to mind is the souffle pancakes from the Animal Crossing video. While I was developing the recipe, like on the 6th attempt, it worked. But when I went to film it, it failed like 6 more times. The thing with souffle pancakes are that they deflate really quickly. So I basically rushed from the stove to the spot where I film like the final showcase of the dish, and you can kind of see them deflate throughout the footage. I guess second place would probably go to the Jellycat marshmallows. In that video, I recreated Jellycat foods and turned them into their actual foods. And I think that was the first time I've ever made marshmallows, and trying to like form them and add the different appendages, it was so taxing. But I think they turned out very cute, and I'm happy with how everything has turned out on the channel so far. Also right now, I'm just doing a crumb coat to kind of lock in all of the crumbs around the cake so that they aren't in the final layer of frosting. Next question, are you ever going to get a bigger saucepan to make it easier on yourself? If you watch a few of my videos, you might have seen my tiny saucepan. This little guy, it's like the perfect size for making little sauces and syrups and things. And I feel like it looks nice on camera compared to my bigger pots and pans. It tends to overfill and cause me and you guys a lot of stress and anxiety. What is your favorite Taylor Swift song / album? If you watch any of my videos again, you might see that my wardrobe is quite limited, as I wear the same Taylor Swift cardigans in most of my appearances. So you might get the right idea that I am in fact a very big Taylor Swift fan. Favorite album, Midnights, followed by Fearless. Favorite song at the moment is probably Guilty as Sin from TTPD. I have been obsessed with that song since it came out. I don't know what she put in that song, but it's so catchy. I'm gonna pop her into the refrigerator for a bit and come back to decorate her. Oh, moving on to more technical, logistical questions, if you guys are interested. I'm curious about your camera, mic, etc. setup. I love how you film your videos. Thank you. Love you too. And would love to see your techniques if you want to share. I will say that if you want to start posting content, you definitely don't need to go out and buy a bunch of equipment to post. I started with my iPhone, and you know those things that you use in bed? Like you put it around your neck and you can attach your phone to it so that you don't have to use your hands. I used to use one of those as my tripod and balance that on top of my air fryer with like a chopping block on top. So definitely don't need specific equipment. I'd say if you want to start, just get started. But my current setup, I have a Sony ZV-E 10 with some Sigma lenses. I'll list them on screen. I also have this tiny camera that I just got. It's the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm using for a second angle, but I also bought it thinking that it would incentivize me to vlog more or make more casual content. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I have 2 mics. For talking to the camera, I have this DJI microphone that I attach to my camera, but in most of my videos, I do voiceovers and I use a Blue Yeti mic. But again, I used to just use like my iPhone and voice memos when I was first starting. So those were definitely a later purchase. I have a tall tripod that you're standing on right now, which I use for all my shots, and I use natural lighting, so luckily I don't have to buy any big lights because I kind of like the natural light vibes. I'd say moral is if you want to start, you don't need anything fancy, but the upgrades do make a difference if you eventually want to continue doing it. Filming techniques. I don't know, I feel like my setup is pretty minimal, so I usually just stage my kitchen area and I use a zoom lens so I can get like detailed aesthetic cooking shots versus like wider angled, more atmospheric shots. I don't know, I just put you guys there and film myself cooking. I feel like this kind of looks good. What do you use to edit? How did you find out what style to edit your videos in? I started editing on, I think it's called iMovie. After I started posting long form content, I switched to Final Cut Pro, which I've been really liking. I've also just started working with an editor and she helps me make these videos extra fun for you guys. Everyone say, hi Patricia. How did you find out what style to edit your videos in? A lot of trial and error. I feel like hopefully my style resonates with my personality and what I'm interested in. So I hope the content comes off as like cozy and comforting. Trying not to, I guess, copy other creators, but kind of make your videos feel like you. I'm going to lock in for a sec because this is the most stressful part of cake decorating for me. I'll see you in a sec. I think she's cute. Back into the fridge for a few minutes and then we can finish her off. Okay, we're finally at the exciting part. I outlined the text on the cake with a toothpick just because I am horrible at writing text on cakes, so hopefully I don't ruin this. I transferred the matcha green frosting to a piping bag and we're just gonna go for it and hopefully I can talk while doing this. What is your all-time favorite food to make? In terms of desserts, I love to make cakes. There's so much satisfaction in doing all the steps and then seeing the final result. In terms of savory foods, I love making something called Chinese dry pot. It's kind of like hot pot but without the broth. So it's like super savory, super umami. I'd say I typically cook like Chinese food or Asian food for myself when I'm not filming videos. Let's end with a very philosophical question. What advice do you have for your younger self and advice you'd give young people in general? I'm glad I'm in the age range now that I'm not considered young people. Yeah, I'd say 1, don't be embarrassed and just put yourself out there and try things. Number 2, you should have big dreams and aspirations for yourself. My experience growing up, I was really tunnel visioned on achieving this certain goal. And I feel like in doing so, I missed out on a lot of opportunities and fun experiences. And even though I eventually achieved those goals, once I did, I guess life kind of felt like it had no meaning. Like because I achieved those goals, I had nothing to work for and I had no purpose. So I'd say my advice is to remember to do things to enjoy the present day. Of course, move towards your goals. That's important, but also remember that you are more than just this goal and your life is more than just this specific thing. Let me think of a very concise philosophical thing to say to wrap up that message while I finish up this piping. I think she turned out pretty darn cute. My final answer: 1, don't be afraid to be cringy. Having passions is cool. 2, you're a human, so go experience human things, enjoy nature, go hang out with your friends, eat good food, do things you enjoy. And 3, I believe in you. You'll be great. Also, part of my human experience and enjoying the present is that I get myself these cute tinned fish boxes for big milestones. So I have a bunch of them on my fridge, and this is my little treat and my little reminder that I'm doing good. How does she look? Gorgeous, gorgeous. To the person who pointed out that I squint when I eat, this one is for you. The cake is really fudgy and the frosting is not too sweet, and it's super light and fluffy and anyways, thank you for watching. No. No. Do not eat the cake. Do not. No. Do not eat the cake. No chocolate.